Hello and welcome to this short video on the types of information access and storage devices. This is relatable to 1.3 in the specification for Unit 2 Cambridge Technicals, and information can be found on page 48 and 49 of the Hodder textbook. So, types of information access and storage devices. You need to know about handheld devices, portable devices, fixed devices, shared devices. And as always with this course, you need to know the characteristics, purpose, advantages and disadvantages of each of those elements. And the EGs there, such as small tablet, smartphone, wearable device, e-book readers, laptop, large tablet, desktop computer, smart TV, games consoles, database server, data center, and cloud storage devices, are all of the individual elements that you need to understand and be able to talk about the characteristics of, the purposes of, and the advantages and disadvantages, and when they are going to be used or could be used. So first of all, handheld devices. As the name suggests, this is a device that can be held in somebody's hand. Now you might think that's a little bit stupid for me to say that, but so often people think that a handheld device could be a laptop because they can physically hold it. It's not that, it's within one hand. Now you would argue that times are changing, and hence the introduction of the small tablet. Something like the Samsung Galaxy Note would be classed as a small tablet rather than a smartphone, and a 7-inch tablet might be a small tablet that could be held within one device, within one hand. So like a restaurateur or a waiter in a restaurant using a small 7-inch tablet would be a handheld device. We use these devices the most. Wearable devices such as watches, such as sports wearables, and e-book readers such as Kindles are all the handheld devices that we will use on a regular basis, and they allow us to access information. It wasn't up until the first lockdown that I even had a home computer, because I use computers so often in school. I got rid of my home computer so that I wasn't on it all the time, and I just use my smartphone. I can do everything that I want to do on my smartphone, in terms of research, in terms of finding things out. But what I couldn't do was I couldn't do things like this, which was recording video. So I had to invest in a computer, and therefore we'll come on to that later in terms of a fixed device. But handheld devices really do have their place within the world's access to technology, and many people use them now more than any other device. The next one is portable devices. So these are devices that have a battery of their own. They can be charged and removed from a set location, such as a laptop. Interesting that in Unit 1 we have to go through netbook, notebook, things like that, and it's not mentioned here, but netbooks, notebooks, laptops, large tablets, hybrid devices, they're all portable devices. It's something that doesn't need to be in a fixed location in order to be used. Fixed devices, these are desktops, so this is something that is stuck within a location. Don't get confused with the fact that it's screwed down. They don't have to be screwed down. I can move my desktop computer wherever I want, but I can't necessarily take it with me on a train. Games console, the same concept. I can't just start, gaming in a park somewhere because I'll need electricity connection. Obviously, if you put all that in place, you could do, but it's pretty much fixed device because you're not able to remove it and still use it. And smart TV, obviously, as well, we use now to access information. In the last 2 years, my father-in-law has got a smart TV, and he uses it for YouTube quite regularly now, which I think I've already told you, and he uses that to get tons of information and access information from across the world just via his TV. Shared devices, we have database server, data center, cloud storage devices, and print server. These are devices that are allow multiple people to share the resources of them, such as the school network, such as Google Drive, Google Classroom, things like that. I'm now able to print from home straight into school using the online print server, and I'm able to share to OneDrive and to Google Drive via the cloud storage devices, so they all have their purposes as well. Alright, so they're the different types that you need to know, the purposes, the characteristics, the advantages and disadvantages of each of those, and when they're going to be used. Remember, Unit 2 is primarily looking at scenarios. So you're given a scenario, you have to think about it, you have to apply your knowledge to it, and there is a scenario for the Unit 2 exam, which we'll discuss at a later stage, which half the marks come from. So your activity today is I want you to get into groups of 2 or 3, and then via Google Docs or Microsoft shareable documents if you want to do it that way. I would like you to create a document that analyzes the purpose, characteristics, advantages and disadvantages of each access method that we've discussed in the past 4 minutes. And I would like you to use examples and different case studies in each of your items to justify when they would be advantageous and disadvantageous. An example of that might be a student for one, a graphic designer for another, a software developer for another, what they're going to use and why would it be better that they use that over another one. Okay, like I say, working groups 2 or 3 to cover the 4 categories of devices that we may use to access information. Any questions, as always, please ask.